Hundreds of thousands of Iraqis have fled attacking Islamic State militants in recent weeks. The semi-autonomous Kurdistan region in the north has become a haven for many refugees, including those from Syria's civil war.
Security for the refugee camps and the region is being provided by Kurdistan's Peshmerga military. VOA's Jeffrey Young traveled with the Peshmerga while reporting from the area recently and tells me about it. Let's take a look. Jeffrey Young, you were embedded with the Peshmerga military in Kurdistan. And so how long were you with them recently, and where did you go and what did you see?
I spent an entire day with the Peshmerga out on security patrol. But all the time that I was in Kurdistan, about a week and a half, the Peshmerga were constantly around us. They provide security and order. They are providing the protection for the Kurdistan region against the Islamic State, against any incursion by any insurgents. And they're a formidable force, but they're woefully underarmed.
What are the conditions like on a trip like that?
I was in an armed vehicle. I was piled in with a bunch of Peshmerga soldiers, and we were out on the streets of Kirkuk and in the surrounding area on a security patrol.
Okay.
We did not see actual combat, but 25 kilometers south of my position on the road between Kirkuk and Tikrit, there were other Peshmerga units engaged in active combat against elements of the Islamic State. So my particular unit that I was embedded with was not directly involved in combat, but combat was very close by.
And you also went to some of the oil fields that they had taken back from ISIS, is that right?
Absolutely. Right. And this is the revenue stream for a possible state of Kurdistan.
Kirkuk in northern Iraq has fabulous oil wealth. It is an ethnically divided city. For years, Kurdish, Arab, and Turkmen factions fought each other. Then, insurgents including the Islamic State of Iraq and the Levant, or ISIL, unleashed their terror. In June, Kurdistan Regional Government Peshmerga troops, reputed to be some of the toughest fighters in this region, moved into Kirkuk to restore stability and to protect the oil beneath it.
And President Barzani, the president of the Kurdistan Regional Government, has made it clear that independence is his goal. And he doesn't mean sometime far in the future. He's talking pretty soon.
You went to a refugee camp as well, right?
Yes, I went to Camp Kaiser, which is about 40 kilometers west of Erbil.
And what did you observe over there?
A massive humanity that had been driven in terror from Mosul, from Tal Afar, from places all over northern and western Iraq.
Thousands of refugees live here in Camp Kaiser. They settled here in blistering heat with the few things they carried from home as they fled the militants of the Islamic State in the Levant or Syria's civil war.
And Kurdistan opened its borders and said, we will take in these people. The Kurdistan Regional Government said, we will work with the UN High Commission with Refugees, with UNICEF, with other people, with NGOs. There's now a massive number of refugees and internally displaced people. According to the UNHCR, there's roughly 1 million refugees and 2 million IDPs, internally displaced persons. And now they're massed in a number of camps in the Kurdistan region.
Describe what the conditions are like.
Camp Kaiser is in an open, barren area. There's not a tree, there's not a twig, there's not a drop of water, there's nothing. It's just open, barren space. These are tents set up in the blazing sunshine in the heat. When I was out there, it was 52 degrees at Camp Kaiser the day that I was there. Typically, at this time of the year, it's been 45 to 50 every day. You stay out in the sun and you burn from the heat and from dehydration.
Are the Kurds just going to welcome them in?
These people, most of these people want to go back to where they came from.
They do want to go back.
I had a man who was maybe 70 years old and was huddled in the shade of his tent, who told me, all I want to do is just get to Najaf.
Terrorists drove us out of Tal Afar with bombings. We want to go to Najaf, but there's no way to get there. We spent all our money already.
The UNHCR and other organizations have done their best to provide the basic essentials for the survival of human beings.
VOA's Jeffrey Young reporting from Iraq, just one of the countries where the Islamic State has been wreaking havoc.